of course, meaning that the gentleman is being gentleman is a way of being, not a way of, not a a kind of birth of. For instance, the French, they have the word gentilhomme, but it's clearly meaning nobleman. Whereas in English, in England, since I say England, although it's UK and British and so on, but practically almost all the British are English, and that's why in every epoch England is more or less treated the word England as the equivalent of UK and the equivalent of Great Britain. So okay, so in England it was from late 17th century on, it was perceived that the gentlemanly behavior is more something of the behavior precisely, and not of the roots, the social roots where you come from. So you could be a bourgeois, but it was also possible for you to obtain the gentleman status to because you are living in a gentlemanly way. And this gentlemanly way was mostly Stoicism, and nothing was very bad and nothing was very good, because the Stoics usually prepare for good during bad times and the other way around. So that's why this is where all these perfectly awful and awfully nice come from. Those expressions that something is not really awful, not really perfect. Perfectly awful also could be, and awfully nice, for instance. So that's why this ambiguity and so on. So not giving up to emotions and control over yourself and so on. And this ideal is reflected in many characteristics and in many stereotypes of the British until today. And in the same time, UK has its disposal from 18th century on, especially the early 19th century on, a second version of elitist behavior, or elite behavior. This is the workerist elite. The workers, the people who are talking in a very emotional way, very like this, and they are proud of themselves, not to be like posh and very, distant and aloof and all the time, but the other way around, very, very, very rude even and coarse. And this was perceived as a good thing, because it's not England has at its disposal two ways of being a member of the elite. And that's why we also can perceive as well the British as hooligans, as rude people and so on, as a little bit brutish, because this kind of behavior is also to some extent cultivated as the counter, as the alternative to this posh elite Stoic standard of John Locke and Anthony Ashley Cooper. That's why we have so much trouble of defining what is really British when it comes to behavior, when it comes to social and psychological characteristics.